I'd say the bond and the chemistry that we all have. All the seniors, I know we've been wrestling for 4 years together, so I think the bond and just the chemistry that we all have, it just makes us a good team. I'd say the hardest thing would be keeping my weight down because I play like other sports and it's hard for me to like stay at my weight class at a wrestling. The food it's hard not to eat whatever you want all the time. I eat a little the day before and then depending on what I weigh that night determines if I eat during that day. Well, Coach Fong, he always says, it's like a famous quote actually, once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easy. So like just getting through practices and not being able to eat whatever you want it's definitely the hardest part. And whenever I go do something else, I think back to wrestling practice and say, oh, that's not that hard because wrestling practice is a lot harder.
I like the intensity that it brings. I like the character it brings on people. The hardest thing has been when I wanted to stop and when I wanted to give up, just to like ignore that and just keep on going. It'll help me to be tough.
It's like, it's just like a big group of guys that, you know, you can always really count on. I know since I started wrestling, just walking through the halls, you know, you instead of seeing one or two people, you see 4 or 5, and it's always nice to be able to, you know, see other guys that you can see are going through the same thing and being successful and you can look up to. Probably just, you know, the quantity of practices. You know, it's a lot of practices, but you know, it is fun and it's a sport, but it's a lot of practices. Nothing is really as hard as wrestling is. You know, you really just got to be kind of tougher than ever to wrestle, and you know, nothing really compares to it.
I think we're definitely hard workers, and we just put in a lot of work and have a lot of dedication. Definitely staying committed to this because I did it for 4 years and I made a lot of sacrifices, and just having good time management.
You're the only one that heard.
We have a really good coach, a good program, and we have really good team chemistry, which is going to definitely help us.
The feeling of just winning things on your own, like, yeah, your buddies helped you out to, you know, practice and get better and work harder every day. It's just the feeling of winning a match that just feels great. Defeating people who are stronger and more technique than me, but really it's all about just mentalness. You know, it's all in the head. You got to think you could beat them. You know, you can't be doubting yourself. Wrestling definitely is a challenge. You know, it's definitely one of the hardest things I've ever done. I feel like it makes me a better person. You know, it keeps me out of trouble. You know, it makes me want to just work hard. And like my coach always says, you know, there's going to be nothing that's going to be harder than wrestling.
Good?
I think it's like the discipline and self-control that the sport teaches you because, you know, like for me, I have to cut weight. Like, I mean, I don't have to cut a lot of weight, but like you have to make sure you like make the right choices when you're eating. Like you gotta, like, you know, if you go home, your mom makes like a burger or something, you know, you want to eat it, but you know, you gotta make weight, so you can't eat that. You gotta eat like an apple. Like things like, you know, sometimes you don't want to go to practice, but you gotta go. You gotta put in the work. Even if you don't want to, you still gotta go because you want to improve every day. Become a better athlete and a better person. Like the hardest thing is probably practices, like when we have hard practices like conditioning and like, you know, hard drilling. Like it pushes you to the limit physically and mentally. You got to be able to like you have to be able to like keep yourself going like mentally, because like wrestling is like it's like 90% mental. You have to, you know, be strong. I think what's like unique about wrestling is that it's like different from other sports in the way that it teaches you like self-discipline, self-control. It like makes you a better athlete. and it helps you overall, like, because you'll be more disciplined, have better like communication skills, like with your teammates and stuff. So you can apply it to the real world.
I think it's just a big family. Everybody really likes each other. No one doesn't get along. Probably the conditioning. It's a lot of hard work. Yeah. You learn respect, leadership, determination.
Honestly, we're just competitive, and I like that because if we're not competitive, we can't win most of the games. Matches. The conditioning part, following up conditions us a lot. It's just a lot of hard work. So, and I'm just working hard now so I can make my future self better. Like it makes my future self easier. Chemistry, making new friends, conditioning, responsibility, confidence to do anything that you put your mind to.
We've got a lot of depth. We don't have too many spectacular kids, although we do. But all of the second guys are all over the team, so we have 14 slots of great wrestlers. Everything. Wrestling is a hard sport. That's simply it. It's not like sprinting or running a marathon. It's like sprinting a marathon. Well, it teaches athletes determination. It teaches you that if you can keep your grades up and do all this physical activity for over, I think it is 40 hours a week, then you're pretty much set.
I know they really push you to like do your best in school and on the mat and be like a good, like upstanding person. Probably going from middle school wrestling to wrestling with Coach Fong is a lot more tough. It definitely makes me like tougher like mentally, and I think it makes me a better person.
Definitely the way the teammates, we're all together and just a good group of guys to have in your back when you need them. Sometimes when you set an expectation of yourself and you don't understand how far you have to go to reach that expectation, realizing you have to go that much further for it, it's tough. Definitely teaches perseverance, so continue working on something even when it doesn't look too good.